a student to be successful in college, they need to find balance between their social life and their academic life, and having great time management skills will make life easier. So the first thing that you need to do to manage your time is to figure out where your time is going. The goal really is to not be controlled by time, but for you to exhibit control over your time and make the most out of your life. When the professors are introducing the topics and give you the syllabus, this includes your professor's office hours, this includes any of the reading that they have listed in the back and the dates that you need to complete it, but most importantly, your professors are giving you a list of test dates and deadlines for projects and papers, and most of that is given to you right there the first day. You need to jot down immediately the information in the syllabus and transfer it into your planner. Planners from the bookstore have the UNT holidays, the deadlines for drop and withdraw and tuition and fees and things like that that you may not necessarily be aware of, so that's a good starting point. Part of time management means that you actually have to go to class. You signed up for it, you paid for it. Just going to class is going to cut down on study time overall, and it can also increase your grades. A student is expected to spend 2 hours studying for every 1 hour that they sit in class. So for a student who's taking, say, 15 hours, that means that they have to have 30 working hours in the week just for study time alone. Plan your study time according to when you feel the most productive. It's really, really sad to lock yourself up in the library for 8 or 9 hours at a time, so split it up. Study for different subjects on different days. That's going to help you with memorization and retention. And don't overwhelm yourself. There are 168 hours in any given week. Usually there are things that take up a lot of our time that we may not really realize. When we get on Facebook, we are distracted. There are shiny objects everywhere that we're looking to, and the next thing you know, you find yourself, 7 photo albums deep, looking at stuff that does not even matter. Television, video games, the internet can really, really zap your time without you realizing it. It's important that you be goal-oriented in everything that you do. I have what I call SMART goals, and it's an acronym. The S in SMART stands for specific. You want your goal to be focused and concise and something that you can actually measure, which is the M for measurable. You want it to be able to be something that you can watch as it progresses and know that it's also attainable. That's what the A stands for. The R in SMART goals stands for realistic. Goals should definitely be grounded and something that, as in the A, you can attain reasonably without too much effort, and something that's not too far in the future. The T in SMART goals is for timely. There are short-term goals and there are long-term goals, and it's okay to have both, but long-term goals are more of that light at the end of the tunnel, big picture thing that keep us motivated. But you need timely, accomplished goals to stay motivated in the day-to-day minutia of class and school and work and life. So it's important to have just as many of those as you do long-term goals. If you're thinking about going to graduate school, I have some realistic and practical advice for completing the application, for researching the school that you want to go to, and for figuring out whether or not it's a right fit for you. The first thing that you can do when you're thinking about graduate school is research. You want to research exactly what a master's degree in certain things can do for you professionally. Another thing that you want to research is the reputation of the program, the size of it, the school, the facilities that are involved. If it's at all possible, take a campus tour. Faculty are a very important consideration for what program you pick and what school you pick. You want to know what professors you'll be studying with because you're going to have a very close mentor-mentee relationship in your graduate program. Almost every program requires that you at least take the GRE, which stands for Graduate Records Examination. But if you're going to medical school or to law school, you've got the MCAT and the LSAT, and the list goes on and on and on of the potential exams that you could be taking. Another component of your application is going to be your personal statement. Some places might ask you for a letter of intent. Some places might actually give you a prompt to write about. But most of the time they just say, please submit a personal statement, 300 to 500 words. First of all, you want to write about positive things that relate to your academic experiences. Another thing to keep in mind is absolute professionalism in your writing, and you do not want any errors So you're going to need another set of eyes to look over it for you and get someone to edit and revise it. But you really need to make it very clear why you're going to graduate school. And not just why you're going to graduate school, but specifically have a 5, 10, maybe even 15-year plan in place. Another consideration for applying to graduate school is whether or not you're going to be able to get letters of recommendation. It's important that the people that you ask to write for you, first of all, have established reputations in academia, ideally a professor or a colleague can write for you, but you also want to make sure that they're going to be able to say something nice about you and to elaborate. And the last thing that you want to do when you apply to graduate school is to call the department and make sure that they have everything that they need from you. Do not assume that everything got there magically. The administrative assistant who works in any department is going to be your best friend. They will be able to let you know if your letters of recommendation have trickled in, if your transcript is there, if anything's missing, and then cross your fingers and wait and see.